So remember not too long ago, I reviewed the iPhone 12 mini and called it one of the cutest and tiniest phone I've ever had. Well, say hello to this guy here.
Hello?
Now this is my review of the infamous Palm phone. Now Palm went ahead and sent me this for me to test it out and share my feedback with you guys, let you guys know what I think about it. Now I've been using this as my secondary device over the past few days, and with this form factor, it's been interesting to say the least. Very, very, very interesting. I mean, see how small it is. Again, I do want to emphasize the fact that I really was using this as my secondary device. And that's simply because it was really never made to be used as a main device, right? As your everyday device. Even though you do get access to some of the core functionality of what you would have on your main device, it's not something for you to use from 7 a.m. or 6 a.m., whatever time you wake up, to nighttime. Nothing makes you really want to use this every second as you would your regular phone. So look at it as an essential phone, not made to compete with the iPhone 12, 12 Pro Max, or the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, none of that stuff. But instead, to keep you focused on everything else that you may be doing at a particular moment in your life, and less so on the phone itself. And with all of that being said, this is not a bad phone or a poorly made phone, right? Actually, it feels premium. It feels a lot more premium than many phones out there. And performance is okay for what it was specifically made for. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. It's not supposed to be a flagship device where you're supposed to have this crazy flagship specs and crazy type of performance. And the design is actually pretty cool. I really like it, as you can see here. Oh, by the way, if this is your first time to the channel here, welcome, of course. If you like the content so far, please do me a huge favor. Hit both the like and the subscribe button there. I truly appreciate your help with this. It's a tremendous help to the channel here, and that's one way to make such a positive impact on this channel. Thank you again. Anyways, back to that design and form factor. Obviously, it's super small, it's very thin, and what we have here are rounded corners, actually reminding me of the iPhone 6, I would say, because of those silver sides that you see going around there. It has a USB Type-C port, SIM card slot, and the power button that you see there, and that's pretty much it. We do have a 12 megapixel main camera on the back here, which does take some pretty decent pictures. They come out pretty clean, but don't expect flagship level pictures. You also have an 8 megapixel selfie camera that will shoot 720p at 30 frames per second there. Again, despite the fact that it's not supposed to be a flagship device, it does take some pretty nice pictures. This here is a 3.3 inch IPS display with a resolution of 720 by 1280 and a pretty high PPI density, I would say. And obviously, given the size of the phone, you would just imagine how pixel dense this thing is. And for that, of course, images are really sharp. This unit here has 32 gigs of internal storage, 3 gigs of RAM, and it's running the Snapdragon 435 chipset. And it actually has its own custom skin sitting on Android 8 here, which I think is very well optimized for this specific phone. The UI is pretty simple, and as you can see here, you do have everything presented to you kind of right away as soon as you open the phone. Meaning if you are accustomed to using other Android phones, you won't have like a app drawer on this one. As soon as you open the phone, all of the apps are there. Obviously, it's not the top of the line flagship, but given the other spec of this phone, performance is pretty decent, as I mentioned earlier. Decent speed at opening and closing apps with no issues, at least none that I've encountered so far. You can navigate the internet, check your emails, do quite a few things without any problems. Again, and even typing is actually not even bad here. Remember, I had a hard time, or I still have a hard time typing on the iPhone 12 mini, but with this one, I'm able to type on it. And this is all because I can hold the phone just laying on my hand this way so that I can easily access the keyboard. You can also download Gboard or SwiftKey for typing if you prefer. This is, by the way, what it looks like sitting right next to my Galaxy Z Fold 2, which is actually my main phone. It does have an 800 milliamp hour battery here, which, as you would imagine, is just pretty small, right? So if you want to use this as a regular phone, that 800 milliamp hour battery is going to leave you hanging within a couple of hours, depending on what you do. But then again, you have to remember this is an essential phone, not to be used like a regular phone. So if you're trying to use it like a regular phone and you have a bunch of things running in the background while you're playing a game or while you're watching a movie or a video, you will see the battery percentage count down. I did actually test that out, and I could literally see how it would go from 80 to 79 and then wait few seconds later, it would go to 78 and 77. So pretty much everything about this phone screams, don't use me, because that's what it was meant for. It's for you to use just for essential things. I mean, but with all of that being said, there is a life mode feature which will kind of keep you disconnected from your phone and from the world for that matter, and kind of help you save the battery. So when that thing is enabled, things like, phone calls or text messages, like the notifications for those things actually don't come through. So it really keeps you away from your phone and away from the screen, from looking at your phone all the time. Again, the device itself is very usable. It's a usable device. It's built pretty well to be used for sure, but it is to be tagged as a secondary device, not a main device. But anyways, here's my take. This thing was designed for one thing, and people who recognize that definitely go ahead and buy this phone. It's a minimalist or an essential phone, however you want to see that. The bottom line is that it's a great phone to help cut out the daily hectic phone routine that you may be going through. It kind of helps you disconnect from the everyday crazy life and take you to a place where you can focus on everything else but this phone, right? So everything about this phone just screams, again, like I said, it just screams, don't use me, because when you think about the fact that if you take it and you start using it, the battery is gonna die. It has, even though you get access to core functionality, there's still some limitations, so you don't want to overuse this thing. I would still recommend this phone. Not that I would recommend this phone for sure to people who need something that would periodically help them temporarily disconnect from the world, right? Now, I would not recommend it for people looking for regular phones, right? This is not a regular phone. This is a phone for you, again, like I said, to take the golf course, going on a date, picnic or vacation with family at the beach, for example, things like that, to really spend time doing everything else but being on the phone. Anyways, I hope this was informative and that this helps your purchasing decision if you are in the market for this phone. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, of course. I'm going to catch you in the comment section like I always do, and I'm also going to catch you in the next video, and up until then, stay safe out there.